Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to a video that has a lot of news in it. It's the first video in the new location. It is then also the first dev server video that I make on the second iteration of the 2.14 dev server leading up to the 2.15 patch. And I will just give you a quick vehicle overview. Now, before we go into all the nitty little gritty details, first of all, obviously the phrase everything is subject to change, so maybe the stats, the models, whatever can change. Then we will maybe see even more vehicles that are on the dev server right now, and maybe I did not catch all of them, and I couldn't also play in the last few weeks. My new work was quite intense and demanded a lot of my energy, and in this case War Thunder had to step back a bit. But that's all irrelevant. Much more important for you guys is that one of you guys or girls can get yourself a pinned post if you make the timestamps for either the individual vehicles or the nations. It's up to you. Now, maybe it will be, as usual, our friend, Lord and Savior Darth Vader. Anyway, let's go to the Americans. I'll proceed with going from the left to the right with the nations. The LAVAD is a new American rank 6 battle rating 10-0 real tank, and it looks cool. And also it's cool that you can get the Hydra 70 as an upgrade. I think you will switch one of the Hydra launchers for it, and you also have a 25mm gun with 91mm of penetration. We'll come back to this in just a moment. Then you have this here and this missile as a choice, smokescreen, and then also the Hydra in direct fire mode with 290mm of penetration. It's better than nothing, I guess. Then we come to the B-26B, the Marauder. That looks absolutely fantastic. I have a little bit of a sweet spot for such American World War II era bombers. Let's have a quick look at the bomb load, and yeah, that's quite a bit, but I think that this will be the most yield, I think. So either this or this. And the Mark 13 torpedo, wow, that is decent. So anyway, a lot of defensive armament, but everybody wants to see the A10A rank 6 battle rating 9.7, and yeah, there goes the brr. And the ultimate brr is with not just one but 3 Gatlings, consisting of 2 20mm M61s and in this configuration, and then also the 30mm, which has 102mm of penetration. So maybe we will get an additional shell type in the future, I don't know, but that is not like overwhelming firepower, I'd say. So that's like a Sherman at point blank range with the 75. You have a lot of countermeasures, you have a lot of loadout options, and I also like that they have reworked here the symbols, although it's a bit misleading because it shows 12 bombs, but it's quote unquote only 6. And it's up to you what you want, and aim 9Ls are always nice. So how this plane will work out, we will see. Now we get to the first really good American battleship, the USS Arizona 6.7, and currently in the tech tree it comes after the Wyoming, so that is for you to know where to proceed if you are interested in this ship. Trademark are 12-14-inch guns, and also the all or nothing armor scheme, and we can see that it is still less than the Kaiser, and you have no turtle back, so you can angle this quite efficiently, mind I say. So there you can see the effectiveness is way above 500mm, Decent deck armor, actually pretty good one, and turret faces also quite hard. Barbettes 330. Yeah, this is a tough nut to crack, no doubt about this. With normal shellfire, it will be really interesting how this all or nothing armor scheme without a turtle back. Maybe have I talked too soon? Oh, not quite sure. Maybe there is a little bit of a turtle back if you look at the X-ray. We will see. At the moment, I don't see any, and let's have a look at the ammunition, because that was what I really wanted to see. So we have the stock AG, which is decent, but again, not Hugo's level. You have the AP CBC round with quite a lot of punch, and not the greatest yield, and you know, everybody wants to go for SAP, but we don't have this. Instead we have an upgraded HE shell, which is coming much closer to what you expect from a 14-inch gun. So again, no SAP shells. Maybe Gaijin will rework how naval forces interact with each other, and I guess it was also added after the last visit on the dev server. So yeah, there is this, and then we have the most important ship of them all. No, really unimportant, too expensive, too pointless. Kim Kui, whatever. Sadly, doesn't matter. Republic of Vietnam Navy. So, I think that's interesting to see. Let's go to Germany, and we go to the Turm 3. There we have it. And personally, for me, I don't know, maybe for the coaxial 30mm, that might be cool. Let's have a quick look at the stats. So we have the usual L7 armament, APDS, hash, and heat, and then we have 53mm, and that's an interesting choice. So that is SEP I, and also high explosives. So very deadly versus helicopters at close range, and we'll talk about this topic later. So maybe not, I don't know. Then we come to the Puma, sadly not the Puck Puma, but this beauty here, battle rating 8.3, and a quick look into the modification reveals that we also get the PMC 287, 121mm of penetration, but the reload isn't really that amazing. 200 rounds per minute. It's not bad, it's usable, but also the gun elevation could be a bit more, you know, for what it is. Moving on to the Su-22 UM3K. Looks beautiful as always, and let's have a look at the bomb loads. Battle rating 11, by the way. Yeah, that's more like it. What is... am I seeing here something wrong? 7 bombs? I guess that's not right. Yeah, R60s, you have all sorts of various different funny rockets, bombs, guiding systems, whatever. But I guess that's not correct. And you also have the MiG-23 MLA. And if you look at this, battle rating 11.3, we can see... Am I missing something today? That's a... yeah, so R13 M1s, R24Rs, R24Ts, R23, yeah, whatever. There is quite the bomb load option, and bomb, rockets, missiles loadout options. So there is that. Personally, I'm not really too interested in top tier chats. It's just one of those things. What I forgot to show you were obviously the tech trees. So there is the Puma after the Marder, and the Turm 3 is, well, rank 5. So still the to-go tank if you want to buy yourself into it, or you do this. And for the aviation, we can see that we have the Su-22 after the F84F and the MiG-23 MLA after the MiG-21 Bissau. And then, yeah, Karl Marx. Not really what I think is a good addition to War Thunder, because it's also am I missing something? There it is. Yeah, way too expensive, I guess, as a squadron vehicle. They don't come cheap. And let's move on to the Soviets, which get the MPK project. Isn't this already there? No, now it's a premium. Ah, there we go. So that's basically buying yourself into top tier as a premium. And this one cost nearly 400,000 K and RP and a million silver lines. So you can just overcome the suffering, let's put it that way. And then we have the T-55 AMD-1, which is interesting because it gets some APS, active protection system. How this actually will work out will be a different question, but just to go again into the tech tree, if I'm not mistaken, there it is after the normal T-55A, 8.3. And yeah, those are the shell types: APFSDS, ATGM, HeatFS, APHE, basically NVD, and I think at this moment the active protection system here is a stock feature, so that's cool. How it works, at which distances, we shall see. But it's not the only tank. Then we come to the Black Knight, and I think that was the other tank with an active protection system, but I can't get there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Iron Fist. So, there is that. And for the rest of the tank, we go with the L27A1, which is decent but not really outstandingly amazing. And then the HMS Valhalla, which just is nope, not interesting for me personally. Japan gets the IJN Congo, and that thing's a beauty. That thing should have been the addition instead of the Hugo, and it comes after the Ikoma because it's a battle cruiser battleship somewhere in between. And funnily enough, they title this as a battleship, but then the Scharnhorst is still a battle cruiser. So yeah, whatever. Basically the same guns, everything's the same as the Hugo. Stock SAP rounds, which just thrash everything. AP and HE just for good measure. And yeah, the armor is not really that exciting. It's 8 inches. Turret faces 254. This thing can lose versus heavy cruisers, but it still has superior firepower. So this is a battle cruiser, not the Scharnhorst, which can tank almost anything. That is the rough difference between a battleship and a battle cruiser, not the guns. Then China gets quite a bit. The M3A3 first PTG. Yeah, nice little addition. Then the ZTZ88A, which yeah has here the standard loadout, I guess, of the shells. Heat, proximity fuse, high explosive shells, HESH, and AP the S, which is AP FSDS essentially in this case. Yeah, then we move on to the ZTZ96AP, and we have again HESH, heat, HE in this case, and a decent APFSDS. So if this is your tank, yeah, it looks certainly interesting. Yeah, and there's also this, a lot of era, whatever, and then the J8B. It looks definitely cool. I like the color on it. It's weirdly attractive. And what is wrong with the loadouts? PL5Bs or PF10s, and also a bit of bombs and rocket loadouts. Moving on to Italy, we realized that they get the F104S ASA, which is indeed the new top end of the line. No, wrong. There we go. And let's have a look at the loadout. So yeah, AIM 9Ls, or 4 of them, or Aspide 1A air-to-air missiles. Lot of brut, lot of bombs. I think there is a lot of stuff for a lot of you. And we also get the Albatros, which is one of those additions. No, was it there? Yeah. So again, way too expensive and just not up to the task in my opinion. France gets the ELC BIS, and it's this tank that for whatever reason gives me insane Wall of Tanks vibes. I don't know why. There are many tanks that are played in World of Tanks and in War Thunder, but this one gives me a little bit the feeling. I don't know why. Don't ask me. And we have here at 6.7 320 millimeters of heat pen, an HE round, and a smoke round. That's basically it for this tank. Armor, well, it might be trolley at best, but really it's paper. We come to again the B26, this time the C variant, and again let's have a quick look at a modification. Well, it's at first glance the very same. And then we come to the Mirage 3 with new boosters. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe somebody understands the joke. I'm too German for that. And yeah, now it's gone. So it seems to be only a certain loadout, and now it's gone. What a shame. Gladly I recorded it. Now then we get to the STRV 105 for the Swedish, and that's also quote unquote new. We have here this stock APFSDS. Then we can go also next to HE and hash to the upgraded APFSDS, and that's basically all that you need to know about this. Now the Swedish also get an entire helicopter tech tree, and while I hate helicopters, it's actually worth looking at those, because with battle rating 7.7, I think they are the lowest in battle rating, and yeah, they get the RB53. Now, while they have 500 millimeters of penetration and can potentially face a target 2 in a full up tier, or from the helicopter's perspective, a full down tier, the range 2 kilometers, the maximum speed 85 meters per second. That's not fast, and so this takes an awful long time to get the missile on target at maximum range. So that's almost 25 seconds to hit the target at 2 kilometers. Meanwhile, you're open to even a Wirbelwind or an Ostwind, whatever, and it's enough time so that a Jagdtiger can reverse into cover. That's how challenging those missiles will be. And the very same here with the HKP2, although we get an improvement at the same battle rating up to 3.5 kilometers and 220 meters per second. So significantly better, but only 4, but at the same battle rating. But then you get to the HKP9A, and it gets, for all intents and purposes, the same, well, a bit better actually. 3.75 kilometers, nearly 300 meters per second maximum speed, 630 millimeters of penetration, and you also can change with this through with only heavy machine guns or a mixture of both. And for that, the helicopter has to suffer with a plus of 2 in BR. That is rough. And then the HKP9A FC actually gets to this loadout. So we have 4, well, basically hot missiles, if I'm not mistaken. 3.75 kilometers range, 330 meters per second maximum speed, and 800 millimeters of penetration, but only 4 of them. And again, you can switch this through with a heavy machine gun, 2 of them, or also missile. It's not really attractive at the moment. And then we get to the HAS. The AHS has considerably better loadout. RB-74 air-to-air missiles, where you can see the stats are pretty nice. We have Hydras, we have Hellfires, we have various different loadout mixtures. That is significantly better, but oof, the grind towards it, even for helicopters, is well done, Gaijin. Suffering continue. Now let's go to Israel, and they get the F-84F new as a premium, if I'm not mistaken. And well, I don't like the aircraft in the other tech trees, so why should I get it here? And also they get an AH-64A Python, because they also get the start of a new tech tree. So the Sweden got theirs right away, and now here we have to go again through new tech tree, beta test, etc. But for the Swedish, that's not the, without a premium even, just so that we get things into perspective. Now I think the hit will be the all the tanks, and yeah, I think was it this one? Yeah, look at the skin. It was bathed in oil, and as far as shiny skins goes, I think this is probably the shiniest default War Thunder standard skin. That is just, I don't know what happened to it. I think it gets conquered by the US soon. that is hilarious. So obviously there are 2 tanks that I want to have a look at. That is the Gal Batash, and I think it is a pretty interesting tank to look at. Well, what to say? Yeah, it looks pretty spacious. What the armor exactly does, we will see later on. I don't have time for a full analysis, but you know, it certainly looks interesting. It certainly does. And also the modifications for 9.3, kind of standard, 436 with the top APF SDS, not too shabby. And also the Merkava Mark 4B is definitely something that is nice, and it looks different than the current Merkavas that we have in the US tech tree. That doesn't really tell us all that much. The outer layer, then we have the X-ray, engine block, radiator, etc. And yeah, it doesn't really look that promising, to be honest, but I guess there will be some hidden things, and maybe that makes the tank worth it. Sadly, it's pretty difficult to get footage or some sort of gameplay on the dev server that's telling, and so this is why I had only here this relatively quick overview. And that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this way too long video for a quick overview. Anyway, I still hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and let me know in the comment section what you expect from this patch, and we'll see each other next time.